Being a skills trainer that has trained a lot of different athletes at a lot of different levels, including college and pro level, I get asked a lot, what's the process of getting a college scholarship? How do I market myself? Who should I be reaching out to? What things do I need to focus on? And I want to make this quick video just so we can kind of talk about that and understanding that there's some processes that are true to everybody. But at this point, you really have to look at also what grade you're in and where you're at in the high school process for you to really make some decisions and decide how fast you need to move. So let's talk about that for a minute. First of all, my seniors. Seniors, it's now or never. It really is now or never. If you are not sure where you're going or if you're going to be signed, then you really need to be pushing the envelope. You really need to get out there talking to college coaches, emailing, sending highlight films, doing things like that, because this is really it. You really don't want to go into the summer being that unsigned senior. Not to say that anything can't happen, but now all of a sudden your window is closing vastly. So if you're not out there promoting yourself to these college coaches, you're in big trouble right now, okay? Or at least the window's closing. Juniors, this is the time to really get it done. This is where you got to kind of kick it into overdrive, as I like to say. So that means reaching out to college coaches. Make sure they have your schedule. Make sure they know where you're going to be. If you have a club team, make sure you're on that club team. Make sure your club team is going to get the proper exposure, and your coach is going to give you do the proper marketing behind that as well for you, because just showing up at college events really isn't enough. Freshmen and sophomores, now is the perfect time. See, you got to understand, juniors, now's the time to really get it done, but the window's starting to close. Seniors, it's either now or never. So if you're a freshman or sophomore, this is the perfect time to get started because you get a little ahead of the jump. You get yourself on the radar for these college coaches. You start getting out to these tournaments where they can watch you and track you over the years, because you got to understand, a lot of times they recruit off potential. They don't see you but maybe for a few games unless you commit to them. And so they're really going off potential. And if they can see you as a freshman, track you as a sophomore and a junior, they can watch your progression. And progression tells a lot about potential. So that's if you're at whatever grade you're in high school. But let's talk about the things that are really going to make the difference, okay? And this is going to help you. It's what I call the 3 L's, okay? And that's location, level of play, and then this may not be the proper word for it, but it stays within the 3 L's, learning. So where do you want to go to school? Do you feel that you have to stay in Texas, if we're talking about Texas? Are you willing to go to surrounding states? Are you willing to go to the East Coast? Are you willing to go to the West Coast? Whatever it is, what's your location of preference? Because that's going to matter to you. That's going to matter to your family, and that will play an impact. Second is the level of play. And I'm never one to shoot down any dreams, and you should decide at what level, what goal do you have to play at. But the truth of the matter is this, is when it comes to college, you may only be a D3 player. You may be a D3 player that might be able to break the D2 ranks. You may be a definite D2 player trying to break the D1 ranks. But you've got to be realistic with yourself. If you're a D3 player, you shouldn't be talking to D1 schools. And, like I said, I don't like to shoot down any dreams, but the truth of the matter in this game is there's a certain athleticism that comes with it. Sometimes with certain height, and people do break those molds at times. But other than that, they're very consistent. You need to know what level you're playing at, okay? And then learning, obviously, because you're a student athlete. Does the school have the degree you want? Can you get into? Are you accepted into that school? What's their policies? How do they help their student athletes? Those are the things you need to look at, and don't forget, because basketball ends at some point. So what are you going to do with your degree, and how are you going to get your degree is very important as well. So hopefully this is helpful. A lot of this can be hard to do on your own. It really can be hard to do on your own, and some AAU coaches don't know how to do it, some just don't do it, and I'm not here to knock that, but my point is it helps to have someone on your side, because this can be very time consuming. This can be pretty costly as well if you're not doing it the right way. And you think about it, to go get every D3 coach's name in the Texas area, that will take you hours and days. Now, there's some people out there that can really help and circumvent the process, and they're called College Promoters of Texas. I personally, my Spartan players and my Jayhawk Club team players work hand in hand with them. They've been very successful in the help with my players, as well as thousands of other players, not just in basketball, but baseball, football, soccer, volleyball, I mean, these guys do it all. They've been in business for somewhere around 20 years now, just helping high school athletes get to that college level and really helping them classify all the things that we talked about. Helping the seniors who are in a rush now, helping the juniors who need to maximize this time, and even getting the freshmen and sophomores set up, and then also helping them with the 3Ls. So if you're interested in working with something like that, I need you to click the link that you see attached to this video wherever you're watching. It could be a few different places. Fill out the form. Once you fill out the form, we'll make sure we get it over to College Promoters for you, and they will be in touch to sit down with you and start the process, because they want to sit down with you first, make sure it's a right fit for both, because their reputation's on the line. The reason they're so successful is because they do bring actual college athletes or athletes with college potential to these college coaches, so the college coaches are willing to interact with them consistently, and that's why you see so many players getting signed. Again, College Promoters of Texas is all over Texas. Obviously, I work with the hub here in San Antonio because I'm in San Antonio, but you're not limited to that if you're watching this and you're not from San Antonio. So again, click the link, fill out the form, and make sure you get involved with College Promoters of Texas. They'll circumvent the process, they'll save you hours of time, and they're super effective in what they do. So that's my message for today. And again, if there's anything I can do to help, feel free to leave a comment, contact me, and let's help you get to where you want to live your dreams of college sports in general. Because we may be talking basketball, we may be talking to some football players. Take care. God bless.